Hello YouTube, welcome to Sunday in the Shop, and excuse my voice if it goes bad. It is raining out again. I'm all congested, in between hay fever, your allergies and stuff, and congestion. Try not to whine about it. Okay, I've had a pretty rough week, okay? We put in new appliances in the house. Wife got a new fridge, stove, and a dryer. And luckily had the neighbor to help lift the dryer up and to get the fridge and stuff out, of course. But the dryer had to be lifted over top of a washing machine to get it out of the room it was in, because in our bathroom is where we have the washer and dryer. But that story's over. Okay, I went to get my tractor. Would have been Monday. Truck broke down. We're about 20 miles from home, and I'd stepped down in second gear manually and then popped it up in the third because I don't use passing gear in it. It's not a race car. And it kind of started bogging down and wasn't running right. Well, it got worse and worse and worse, and we barely made it home. We came to one intersection, we just slowed down, looked, run the stop sign, and it was dying going through the intersection. So we had about 4 more miles to go after that. And we had one more intersection, we didn't have a stop sign. I had to take it wide like a semi because the truck was dying out on me. And it's got power steering, power brakes, so you kind of know what that's like. Well, we get into town, we take the last corner of the town, and it died. So we're on the gravel street. It ain't rolling good on the gravel street. We had to push it like 10 feet more to get it in the yard. It just flooded over. When we opened the hood, you could just see the fumes coming out of the open air cleaner. I mean, it was flooded. So I haven't even looked at the carburetor. I'm not even going to try to find a kit because it is a one-off carburetor. It has a 2-stage power valve, which I'll show you what a power valve is in here. It's similar, but on a Ford it sets below and has this big cup that covers it. It's not a little cover. Well, it's a 2-stage, it's a big thing. It was really hard to find a kit for it 20 years ago. So we found a kit for this Holley. We've had this stored away, and I want to thank the guys at AutoZone and give them a big plug. AutoZone in Sioux City, Iowa, and no, I don't get paid, and this video won't be monetized. They found me an actual Holley kit for 31 bucks, okay? Here's the sob story. We ordered it on a Tuesday, and it was supposed to be in Wednesday afternoon, pick it up Thursday morning. We go Thursday morning, it's not there, but they tracked it down. It was at the Sioux City FedEx terminal. They put a hold on it to send their driver over there. Well, we had things to do. We were still working, doing stuff on the house. We figured, well, we'll come up Friday morning to get it. Well, went up Friday morning and got the kit. So, that's the end of that story. This is probably going to be a 2-part video this Sunday. I'm watching my timer right now, 3 minutes. You guys haven't heard me ramble. But I know you'll probably enjoy it. Okay, let's get that back to the carburetor. You see how I got bolts under here with washers and nuts? Do this if you're going to rebuild the carburetor. It gives you a stand. You have throttle linkage and stuff. The butterflies are going to hit the table. This is not on right. You'll see later. This is part of the accelerator pump that goes up and pushes down on here. It's just a diaphragm that pushes the squirt gas. We're not going to show you everything in this carburetor. We're going to show you the worst problem we've had so far. Okay? On a Holley, you take the float ball off. We only got one screw in here. Don't worry if it falls over, it ain't going to hurt it any. I don't know if I can do this on camera or not. Now there's gaskets under these screws I'm taking out. Okay. So there's gaskets under here. Okay. And we got this loose from the base plate. Excuse me. I won't have to keep saying excuse me. I've already apologized for it. There's gaskets under here, okay? You can clearly see them. Here's one in here and this one ain't in here. Here's our accelerator pump, okay? I see my battery symbols on. All that does when that lever pushes down is it pushes here and it pushes a thing and it squirts gas, which we'll show you that. Okay, we're going to pause because my battery symbol's on. That's normal. I ramble on too much. Well, I make video, I just get done. I mean, I don't change the battery till the battery symbol's on. So hang in there and we'll go next to what's called the metering block and the biggest problem I've had so far. Hopefully it's the only problem. So stay tuned for more. Okay, if we're going any further, you're going to get an instruction sheet. We're not totally disassembling this thing, and I'll show you just the main things you got to look. There's two carburetors. There's one for the tri-power. Might as well show you that. See how the tri-power shapes, they all fit together, so it doesn't have a big round air horn on the top. I don't know if you can see that. See that? That's for like your tri-power on your Mopowers and stuff. Mine's all round in the back. See that? Don't let this intimidate you. If you've done other carburetors, if you've done a lawnmower carburetor that's complicated, you're probably going to be able to do this with instructions. Okay, I did not get a float. They're still looking to see if they can get me a float. If this brass float leaks, let's all pray I can solder it. I've not even checked it in a bucket of water yet. But there's your float, and here's where you adjust it. I'm not going to show you that, but you can adjust this while it's running by taking out this sight plug. If you're more curious, there's videos out there, not a whole lot. Okay, let's get up here a little closer. See how nice that stand works? See, I've got this loose. Here's the hardest problem. This would not come off. It would not come off. This carburetor's laid around for 20 years. We end up taking a knife. Don't do as I do. And we had that knife down in there, in the corners and all along here. And we took it off the bottom so we had more access. And we had that we could tap on with a punch. Just a few taps. We did tap around the carburetor with a little ball peen hammer. We wasn't too worried. This is aluminum now. You'll break something. We got a few chew marks up in here from the knife blade. But if you look where I've chewed at it, it doesn't really matter. Because this gasket insets in a step. And it is a reusable gasket. When we get to, I'll show it to you. You can take this off if you want to change your power valve. This is your power valve. All this does is it uses vacuum to suck on this thing. And it determines how much gas can pull out of the float bowl and go through the jets. So Ford has a power valve in there just like this. They gave me the looks like the right one. It's like 6.5 was like stock. You might want to look some of that stuff up. There's a YouTube video on that. So that's what a power valve is, okay? The other one was 2-stage on my carburetor. It's all funky, weird, different. Because I rebuilt it because it had this one and the wrong one. So, we talk a little fast, you can put me on slow speed. Worst problem I had, I could not get this off. I mean, this is a mess. Here's how I'm cleaning this, okay? I'm taking my pocket knife and scraping this right, and I'm using a stainless brush, okay? But we will show you before we pause. We're going to do some more work. I want to show you how nice the stainless brush works. See how nice that works? Do not use sandpaper. You can get down in here because there's holes and stuff. It should be exact replacement for a Ford. See, I can't tell you which one is the vacuum advance port right here. This is your PCV, positive crankcase ventilation. There, not plastic PVC pipe. You have all these little ports and holes in here. See, I'm brushing it. Make sure you have the same exact gasket. Take the old gasket, right? Compare it to new. Make sure that's exactly the same because you don't want to screw up any of these ports because same as on here. This takes a completely flat gasket. There's ports where it sucks for the idle circuit. So it's completely flat. There is no holes that I know of because this did not have a gasket. I'm going by memory because the other one looks like it's for the other two barrels. There's two models that this kit will fit in. See how nice them bolts are? See the big washers so you don't gouge up nothing? This will set like this, and then when you rev it up, this will push down on that arm on the accelerator pump. Let's see when we're done. So, stainless brush, not brass. Stainless work really good. See how nice that looks? Look at that. Okay, let's pause. We're probably about 8 minutes in. I'm sure this might be a 2-minute. I always do this on Sundays. Everybody notice that? I'm always hurrying. This is supposed to be relaxed. No, it's working. It's raining out. I might be under the hood of my truck with a tarp over it, putting the carburetor on today. Or I'll wait till tomorrow. We might fill some gas in this first and make sure the squirter works. This is a cam. There's holes in here if you want to study it. We got the most fast accuracy at 1 and 2. You can buy a trick kit for how fast this accelerator pump works, how fast the action is to push this down on that plunger arm. I think most of you guys understand what I'm talking about. Guys and gals, gotta include that. I know there's a few women who watch my video because I look at 10 or 11% on my whatever analytics. So I don't have that ball where the throttle linkage snaps on. I have a fix for that. I will show that in a whole other video. I may make one on my lathe before this is done. Showing you a few basic little things here. So let's pause and we will do some cleanup work, and we won't show you the whole build. We're just going to show you how nice it looks and a few of the pieces of the carburetor. So we'll just spend this Sunday video yakking, carrying on, and shooting the ball. So stay tuned if you're not bored. If you are bored, I should say, don't have nothing else to watch, this is a perfect video for you today. Just sit and watch me work on a carburetor and ramble on. They are nice carburetor. They're neat. I mean, it might be fascinating to some people. It's half of a 4-barrel. 500 CFM. Boy, I'll be ripping them mud tires up. No, I just want to get it running. I have more tractors to get. That's a whole nother story. If I get the tractors I'm going after, oh boy. I mean, cross our fingers. I've got a deal going on, a whole load of tractors that's going to get delivered. A whole pile of them. The guy just has to get home from vacation to get them to me. So stay tuned. That'll be a great video. More to come on the Alice too. So hang in there. We're rambling. This will be a two-parter. I guarantee you it will be the first time in the history of Sunday in the shop. Okay, quick clip. We got this all cleaned. These are reusable in case you want to change your power valve. They're supposed to be reusable. That's all done with a pocket knife. You see the scrapes. And a stainless brush. Brass will not do it. I mean, brass. Stainless won't do it, it'll hurt it. That's a brass one or whatever. Whatever you got. I can't even tell. I'm colorblind right now. So, stainless or brass, whatever this is. Nylon ain't going to do it because you got to screw it. Don't use sandpaper in here. See all them ridges? Okay, break time. Then we'll be back with a couple more clips. We still got to do the front of this. Nasty, huh? It's been on there forever. This is how they got the part numbers from this number right here. There's so many models of these, so stay tuned. Okay, we're cleaning this up. I hate getting scrapes with a pocket knife, but I had to go to a sharper one. And I've been using a stainless. Okay, I think I mentioned that. Brass doesn't really do anything. I did try brass like on this part, but we don't care about the outside. We just want to get this running. This part of the float vent, that is actually a float vent. Some of them had a plastic rectangle port pipe thing, but keep that direction it's supposed to go. If I gotta rewatch the video, I'll rewatch it. But okay, back to doing more work. We still gotta do this part yet. We've probably got almost an hour into this metering block. I'm not kidding you. Stay tuned. It goes quicker for you than it does for me. Okay, viewers, welcome back to more Holley tips and tricks. I can't be professional. You have to take your jets out. I wrote these down. They're 75. I swear they're for a big block. Don't quote me. And here you got cork. Can you see this laying over here? They come in the kit. It goes around your idle mixture screws. Here's a jet, of course. Big. Oh my. Look at that. I think it's a big block. Come on, you can do this. Excuse me if I get frustrated. This has been very swift. That's for a big block. I think it is. If I remember right, this probably come off a 390. Okay, all these passages. This hole down here goes up here. There's holes in here for your power valve. See them? They connect down in here. Everything runs up these tubes. Let's see if we can do this right. And it all comes out through all these passages and everything in here. So this is a metering block, okay? Meters how much fuel is going into the carburetor. This will be the most time you should spend on this carburetor that and all the ports in the carburetor back. You better spend your time and take your time. Don't just blow it out with carburetor cleaner. I'm using air. I have a thing that fits the air up your basketballs, and I also have this bigger tube. This is all homemade. You make them out of brake line anything. This, not the lecture. You better spend your time doing this, or you end up with something that's not, it may run full bore, but it might not idle. You have locating pegs for the gasket. I said, like this gasket, make sure it's the right one, don't put it on yet. These are reusable, so if I want to change the jets, I can pull the float bowl off, which will be this side, take off the float bowl. I said that little metal thing, I don't know if I mentioned, there's a little metal vent, some of them had plastic. Okay, I said guarantee this will be a 2-part video this Sunday, but I'm not an expert on Holley. Do not take what I say as the gospel. I've just done it, and I'm just lecturing on what you better pay attention to, because this is a pretty big part of a carburetor. It's called a metering block. That's what I've always called it. Now we're going to go off and do the body, and we'll be back. Power valve, I don't know if I mentioned, if anybody's curious. It came with a 6.5. That should be 6.5, not 65. We'll show the part, what it came with. Vacuum sucks on that. It draws through that big hole port back there. It draws off the manifold vacuum. And it says what that regulates by the manifold vacuum is how much gas it's going to let through them jets. Don't quote me which way is which way. Well, it sucks on it. It sucks this way. So, whatever it does, it's a power valve. You've got to replace these unless you know yours is good. So, enough lecturing, more work. This is one of them less talking, more work videos. We're never going to get this done. We've been at this a long time. Excuse me. We've been at this about 4 hours already cleaning all this, and we still have to do the main part of the carburetor. Stay tuned. Hope you're still here. Okay, real quick clip. Here's where your power valve sucks down through the manifold to get this vacuum to pull on the back of that, because it sucks on the back. What that does, when you get vacuum, it shuts the fuel down. If you lose vacuum, it's going to open up and let it pull more fuel. So that regulates how much sucks through the jet. Getting focused. Look at this stuff. Pocket knife and a razor blade. Nasty. We've been taking a file when we go along here, because like I said, we tapped the knife in there along here and down here, and who knows had it apart before. So we got a straight edge checking it. We did a little bit of filing here, and using the stainless brush because it works better than the, so we'll see if these colors show up. Works better than the brass. The brass works good for kind of polishing on that, you know, after you use the stainless, but there you go. And this took a while too, believe me, it took a while. Beware of these ports, that stuff's going to fall in there. One of these is not used, you'll tell when you put the gas. I'm going to try to blow everything through the top. That thing in the center of that screw, can you see it? That's the squirter for the accelerator. Those round, funky, you know, little round circles in there? That's called your, well, the Venturi's the whole thing, but to me that's the Venturi. Okay. We hate to take the choke plate out and get down in there. We're going to have to probably, because we got to get the squirter out and make sure it's not plugged. There's like a check ball or a little brass pin in there, like for a check thing in there. So when we get to that, we'll take a picture of it if we don't talk about it. So this ain't a carburetor rebuild. You could do this rebuild video, but somebody could refer to this if they're doing one. Ain't this nice? You get stuff down. That's a screw hole for the float, and you can tell which way does the passageway go. If you want to put like a wire in there or something, but don't get stuck in there. But I have a bunch of these. They're probably lost, thrown away. This is my favorite O-ring pick. So stay tuned. This is going to be a 2-part Sunday in the shop video. It'll be able to upload quicker. Plus, you can watch that at your leisure. So, break time. I'm gonna lean back in the chair and have a cold lemonade. It's raining out. It is sprinkling raining out all day long. So stay tuned.